What's up, everybody? Welcome to another video. Hope you're ready to flex not just our brain muscles but our body as well, because today I'm going to the gym and I'm taking the camera with me. So this is the first time I've made a video that isn't about math or isn't about, education. And I'm taking this as an opportunity to show my viewers and my subscribers, by the way, almost at 1,000. Thank you guys so much. All the new subscribers. Thank you. Almost at 1,000. That's crazy. But I'm taking this as an opportunity to show y'all something I do that I'm very passionate about that isn't math. All right. And most of y'all don't know this because I've never really talked about it. But before I ever, found math or saw it as something that I wanted to pursue or was passionate about, I was very much involved in fitness. Fitness was my passion. I became certified as a personal trainer and I was doing that for a living. And I decided to go to school, to go to college, to actually further my career as a personal trainer. So those were my intentions going into college. And it's funny how things kind of change over time, right? Because along the way I sort of found a math class and I was like, man, this is kind of cool. This is like a mental workout. It's very challenging mentally, and it was different for me because I knew I liked challenges. That's why I liked strength training. It challenged my body. But this challenged my mind in a way that I had never really challenged it before. And that's what kind of drew me to continuing to study math. And then I got into sort of tutoring and eventually teaching. And then it just kind of snowballed from there. And now math has taken priority. But fitness is still a priority. I'm still very much involved and passionate about it. I just don't see it as something that I want to do as a career or as, like for a living. But I still think it's very important that everybody has something in their life that allows them to expand their mind, body, and spirit. So I have something in my life that allows me to do each of those things. And I really think that everyone should. And it doesn't have to be math, it doesn't have to be strength training or meditation, or you can pick whatever, but we need to have something where we're aiming to grow, aiming to make progress in all three of those areas, because I think all three of those areas are equally as important. Right? They're equally as important. So in this video, I'm going to talk about expanding and growing your body into something that you're proud of and something that is healthy. So I'm going to share a little bit of my experience, maybe give some suggestions, and then take the camera to the gym and get some workout footage. So I hope y'all enjoy this video. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to let me know in the comments below. Alright guys, so I'm going to show some example routines and give some suggestions on that and that sort of thing. But before I get into that, I want to make a note of some key points. And these are just things that I want to talk about that I think are important that I've noticed over the years. The first one is that progress takes time and consistency. This is so important. And just to put it into perspective, I've been doing this consistently for almost 7 years now. In September, it'll be 7 years of consistently working out, consistently training. So just to put that into perspective, I look the way I look because I'm doing this for 7 years. You know what I mean? If you did something for 7 years consistently, I would expect you to be really good at it too, right? And that's what people don't understand, is they just have these unrealistic expectations of where they think they can get in a month, in 3 months, and what it's going to take and that sort of thing. And I would really try not to have, it's good to have short-term goals, but I would really view it as how can I make lifestyle changes toward a happier and healthier lifestyle, because that's what it's developed into for me personally. It's not about a 3-week program, a 3-month program, 6 month, whatever it is. It's about how can I make changes to my lifestyle, right? Make permanent changes to the way I live that will allow me to reach more of my goals and allow me to, sustain those goals, to continue to look the way I look and be as strong and healthy as I am. So I want to make that real clear that this is important. And this kind of also ties into the next one. There's no best program. And I find so many beginners focusing on these little details like, should I eat at this time, or should I do this much cardio? Should I stretch before or after? All these details that in the grand scheme of what they're doing don't matter, because the truth is they're asking these kind of questions, but they can't be consistent. They can't focus on the right things they need to focus on. So really in the beginning, I would just keep it stupid simple, because that's what I did. I kept it so simple, and honestly that works. It doesn't overwhelm you. You don't have to worry about little details that really don't matter, right? If you're going from not working out at all, not being active, to working out and being active, you're going to see changes. You're going to. I did just about everything you can do wrong in the beginning, and I saw so many changes because I was consistent, right? And then slowly over time, I corrected those things I was doing wrong, and I saw more and more changes. So I want to make these points clear. The next key point, try to find something you enjoy. This makes it a lot easier to stick to something if you enjoy it. If I didn't enjoy strength training, I probably wouldn't still be here doing it 7 years later. It's really hard to stick to and to consistently do something that you don't enjoy, right? So try to find some enjoyment out of it. If you can't find enjoyment out of strength training, if you just hate it, try something else. Maybe you can try like a martial art, you could try a sport, you could try CrossFit. There's tons of ways that you can, improve your physique, live a happy, healthy lifestyle. It's not just going in the gym and lifting weights. So try to find something you enjoy. It makes it a lot easier to stick to doing that for years, right? Stay open to suggestions. This is important because what I see a lot of people do is they work out for 6 months, they make a bunch of progress, and then they think they got it all figured out. And they sort of close their mind to trying new things and changing things up. And what happens is eventually you're going to plateau, you're going to become stagnant. I did it multiple times throughout my, my time training. I did it where I thought, oh, I got this figured out. This is what I need to do. What happens is you stop making progress, and you're going to have to eventually either be willing to take some suggestions and make some changes, or you're just never going to make progress again. So always be open to listening to what other people are doing, to accepting feedback, to looking at what other people are doing and observing and trying new things and changing things up, because that's how we improve, as we continue to change things and we find out what works and what doesn't. So I'm going to go ahead and give an example of some good routines for beginners and for those who are a little more intermediate, and routines that I've followed as well and had success with. Alright guys, so here's just a couple of examples. These are just general outlines for a beginner and intermediate routine. I'll talk about each of these, then we'll go ahead and head to the gym. But for beginners, I always recommend full body 3 days a week. And here's the reason why, is because 3 days a week is just enough to make good progress, but it's not too much to where it's going to overwhelm somebody who's new to this, right? And that's a big problem I see, is that people go from never working out to I'm going to work out 6 days a week. They jump all in and then they quit because it's hard and unrealistic to just jump straight into that. All right, don't do that. Work your way up. If 3 days a week doesn't sound like enough, try this. See if you can even stick to this first before you try something bigger. Stick to this for a month and then add in that extra day or two, right? Build your way up to it. Full body. Here's the reason why full body is actually very underrated. It can actually be really good for training, for strength, for physique, all that stuff. Full body. And here's the reason why, is because look at the frequency. You're hitting each muscle 3 times per week, and I'm a really big fan of high frequency routines. 3 times a week you're hitting each muscle. Also, it gives you a great opportunity to focus on compound lifts, compound exercises like deadlift, squat, bench press, overhead press, stuff with kettlebells, swings, all that kind of stuff. That's really important. It gives you an opportunity to practice your form, which is really important, to get the form down as a beginner. Then you can build up, increase that weight, build more strength, build your physique up from there. So for beginners, I do recommend that. For intermediates, I recommend splitting up. You can try this upper-lower split. I have actually used this sort of outline for my routine quite a bit, where I split it up, upper body, lower body. I actually do abs on lower body day, and sometimes I add in extra cardio on lower body days. But I do 4 times a week total. Some people do upper lower rest. The reason I don't like that is because it shifts the days I work out each week, and I like to keep my schedule consistent. So I do 3 rest days per week, but although lately I've been adding in an extra workout day where I go and just have fun with it and do whatever I want, do a bunch of curls if I want to do that. You know what I mean? I can do that on that extra day. But yeah, I do recommend this for more intermediates trying this. Still doing the same things though. Focus on those compound lifts. Maybe try to incorporate maybe like a 5x5. You could try to, build some strength if you're a little more intermediate. If you think you have that form down, try adding some weight. Start with a compound exercise for each workout. And yeah, see if you can build some strength from that. So again, suggestions, I've already talked about that one. Workouts should be 60 to 90 minutes each. There's no real reason you should spend over 90 minutes in the gym for a workout. If you are, then maybe reevaluate. See how efficient you're being with your time. Maybe incorporate some supersets, that sort of thing. But again, these are all just suggestions. I'm not prescribing anyone anything. And feel free to let me know with questions in the comments below. I'll answer any questions I can. So without further ado, let's go ahead and head to the gym for today's workout. Alright guys, so this is a pretty typical upper body day for me. I started off with some bench press, and I really like to start off with a compound exercise, and I consider this my main lift. And I allow myself to go a little bit heavy, so I'll sort of pyramid up. I'll do some heavier sets, 5 reps, 3 reps, that sort of thing, and then I'll drop back down and sort of burn it out at the end. I really like that. On upper body days, I'll do something like bench press, overhead press, bent over row, pull up, something like that. And then on the lower body, I'll do like squat, deadlift, or some variation of those two. So here I worked up to 245 for 5, which is not the heaviest I've ever done, but for where I'm at right now today, it's not bad. So this was feeling pretty heavy, as you can see by my arms shaking. And yeah, so the last set, I think, or the last rep rather, is a little bit of a grinder here. Let's see. Ooh, yeah. My glutes raised just slightly off the bench, which is not ideal. But yeah, let me talk a little bit about the form real quick. So my scapula is retracted, and that is the key to bench press. If you take anything away from this video about bench press, you should take away that your scapula needs to be retracted, your shoulder blades back and down, digging into the bench. I do like an arch in my back, as you can see. That is optional, not required. I'm taking more of a powerlifting stance, but I do enjoy that. I still have all the points of contact. My back is digging into the bench, my glutes are fully on the bench, my feet are on the ground. So that is the form I choose to use for bench press. And yeah, okay, so I moved on to some lat pull downs after that. So I'm focusing just really on getting some time under tension on my lats, just really breaking down the muscle, squeezing at the bottom, stretching at the top. As you can see, I don't fully lock out my arms at the top. I try to just keep as much tension as I can on my lats and just really focusing on the pump and trying to grow my lats at this point. Yeah, there's, strength exercises, and then there's exercises like those lat pull downs, as well as these chest flies, where they're more for the purpose of just breaking down the muscle and getting that pump rather than, building strength and going super heavy. There's a time and a place to go heavy, and it's definitely not on, chest flies like I'm doing right now. So I'm just focusing on squeezing at the end. This was my 4th set. So as you can see by the faces I'm making here, it was tough at this point. Yeah, I did 4 sets of that. Dumbbell rows. So as you can see, I'm alternating. I went chest, back, and that's something I do like to do, kind of mix it up and alternate. So I'm somewhat fresh for each exercise. But yeah, for these dumbbell rows, you can do these many different ways. I like to have my knee and my hand up on the bench like that. I feel it the most, but the key here is to try to feel that stretch at the bottom and squeeze at the top. And I try to minimize the amount of swinging I put into the actual lift, and I try to just isolate my back muscles, my traps, my mid back, all that stuff. So then I went into some seated dumbbell press, 4 sets total. And I couldn't decide between 45s, 50, 55s, or 60s. Like, I wasn't sure exactly what to grab. So I just grabbed the lightest ones. And then I think I actually end up going up in weight after this. So if you're ever unsure about where you should be, just start with the lighter weights. You can always go up. But it's just always a good idea to be safe rather than sorry. So I bumped up to the 55s, and I was definitely feeling it now. Definitely feeling it, as you can see by the face I'm making. It was a really good pump. And yeah, I really like this exercise. Probably my favorite, shoulder exercise. Ooh, cable curls. This is one of my favorites for biceps. Really just because the squeeze I get at the top is insane. The pump I can get on here, pretty insane. So again, we're working our biceps. We don't care about how much weight we're using. The only thing we really care about is getting in the reps and just feeling that squeeze and getting that pump. That's how you build these smaller muscles. That face. That's how you build these smaller muscles like biceps and, triceps and delts and those sort of things. So you just get in the reps, feel the squeeze, and be consistent with it. So here I decided to switch it up. I usually do 4 sets of a single exercise. I decided to do 2 sets of each just because I wanted a little bit more variation. And then I finish off with some tricep cable push down. So this is, 8 exercises total. And that's a pretty good typical upper body day for me. 7 to 9 exercises I average. Here I did 2 chest, 2 back, 1 shoulder, 1 bi, 1 tri, and that's pretty good for me. So hope y'all enjoyed this kind of video. This is my first time doing a voiceover, so it's probably not perfect. But if you want to see more stuff like this, let me know in the comments. Comment below. And then, yeah, here's the full workout. And again, this isn't, this is just what I did for that day. I've been mixing it up. But yeah, hope y'all enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit like, hit subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and keep flexing those brain muscles, those biceps, everything, mind, body, and spirit. Peace.